Okay, we all have pain points in life, and the same thing goes with building. The key with building is to identify the pain points that you know you have as a person, and before you go into the process of building a home, create systems that support your pain points. So when you go in, really, think about this, like, why am I building a home? Why am I building a home? It could be, this is the home that I'm going to spend the rest of my life in. That's why I'm building this home. I have this vision, and my kids are going to come over and the grandkids are going to come over, and I have certain rooms for them, and I've thought this entire thing out. It could be, this is my first home. I want to be wowed by my architect. I want to be wowed by my designer and my builder. I'm going to have this amazing team, and every time I show up, I'm just going to be wowed. So everybody has their why. Why are you doing this? Who are you going to go through this process with? Who are the people that you relate to, that you can trust? You have these people in your life. How do they act? What do they do? What's important to you? We all know who we're comfortable with. So this is one of the times where you don't want to be uncomfortable, right? Out of your comfort zone. You want to be in your comfort zone. Know who you want to work with. Get that who right. Challenges. So let's just talk about the challenges that come up. Building a home is very, very much a human process. So it relates heavily to families. So if you come from a small family, a medium-sized family, a big family, doesn't matter. It's all a human experience. And so in a family, we learn how to problem solve. We learn how to communicate. We listen to what other siblings might be doing, right? And so again, this really relates to building. So, let's just say I have, my two boys when they were younger, 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, Ben and Patrick. We're going to go grocery shopping. Well, I know that I can't walk into the grocery store and hope that they hang out with me. They'll be tearing up the Cheerios boxes, knocking down the ketchup. So what I do is, when I go to the grocery store, I find that cart that has, like the race cars, like where the kids sit down and they have their little race car driver steering wheels. Well, there you go. Ben and Patrick doing race cars, right? And I know I have about 15 minutes of their attention. I have my list. I run in, and actually it's usually very early in the morning, so they're in a fairly good mood and they're not hungry. But that's my system. I know if I'm going to the grocery store, that is my plan. When they take baths, let's just say, one of the girls, she hates taking a bath. Well, I'm going to have the bath toys that she loves, or the Barbies, or whatever she loves in that bathtub, because I have about 3 minutes that I need to, get everything done and then get her out. What else? Kids, right? Like if they don't want to eat the peas, which none of my kids like the peas, right? It was always the sweet potatoes. I'd take the spoon, they're in their chair, and I'd go, right? The airplane move, right? So we have to be aware of the systems and create those systems to get the results that we want. Yes, out of our architect, out of our designer, out of our builder. That's the responsibility that we all have for each other. When the kids grow up, maybe one is not so hot in math, right? So I need to go get a tutor so that we can support the kids as they learn their math, right? So just paying attention. How am I going to create this system? So that, again, the same thing goes in building a home, right? There are things that you want to identify up front that are triggers for you. One could be process. Could be, it could be how much progress are we making, right? I want to know every day, like, what do you guys have going on? It's a simple text message to you. We can tell you what's going on every day if you want, right? Because progress is important to you. Budget decisions. If I make this decision, how does it affect the budget, right? Those are things like, hey, Aaron, I'm watching this budget, and this budget is really important to me. Please let me know if I'm making a decision that affects the budget. Please, it doesn't have to be anything formal, but like, hey, if we do this, this number is affected and it goes up. That will help a homeowner make decisions if budget's really at the forefront of their, of their attention. Maybe they want to explore different materials. Maybe for event hood, we like metal, or we like stone, or we like brick, or we like wood. Well, those all have different trades involved, and different price points. So maybe you do want to know your options when it comes to certain materials in the house. Timeline, right? So this again can go back to decisions. If I make the decision to do this, how is the timeline affected? Right? So I have in my head, I want to move into my house in 18 months. And if there's any decision that I'm making that pushes me to 24 months, please let me know. And maybe we should do a series on that. Paint's a great example. The more colors you have on your cabinets of paint, the longer it takes, because when we spray, we have to cover the other things. We spray, we have to clean the machine out, spray again, and it's very, room by room. That's the process. If you have one color, it's, imagine the painter in there in his little white suit spraying, and it's like everywhere. Woo, white paint, we're done. We could go on and on. But again, the bottom line is, if I know these 4 things are triggers for me, I need to develop a system so that everyone I work with knows how to communicate with me. So again, know your why, know your who, know your challenges, and create your systems. And then you're going to have an awesome time building your house.